Hey everyone, I'm Candace Goodman, and this is the fourth edition of the Good News Report. Today isn't about breaking news, it's about breaking a pattern. For decades, we've talked about performance as if pressure creates greatness, as if stress sharpens talent, as if pushing harder is the same as supporting better. But if that were true, burnout wouldn't be the defining story of youth sports, elite athletics, high-achieving classrooms, and even the workplace. So the question is simple. Why are we still surprised when talented people shut down? To understand why the Goods Performance OS exists, we have to understand what came before it. Most performance systems follow one of three paths. The first is discipline-first systems. Old-school coaching, military-style motivation, push-through culture. The nervous system is ignored in service of results. The second is motivation-based psychology. Growth mindset, positive reinforcement, better language, but still rewarding certain emotional states over others. The third is elite performance science, Olympic programs, private sports psychology, high-performance environments used by professionals. These systems work, but they're expensive, private, and usually introduced after damage has already been done. What all three paths share is this. They prioritize outcomes before regulation, and that's the gap. Neuroscience is clear. Performance is not a personality trait, it's a state. The nervous system determines whether someone can focus, execute automatically, explore creatively, recover, or protect itself. When adults misread that state, even with good intentions, they add what researchers call identity load. Identity load is what happens when effort becomes who you are instead of what you're doing. That's where the Goods Performance OS is different. It doesn't try to motivate behavior. It doesn't track performance. It doesn't reward toughness or punish withdrawal. It gives people language. Simple, neutral, shared language to signal what kind of support fits right now. And these are signals, not profiles, because no one is one thing. A kid can need focus on Tuesday and freedom on Wednesday. A coach can demand precision in one moment and protect recovery in the next. The system begins with three core signals: lock-in, coast, vibe. Lock-in means attention is narrow and load is high. The correct response isn't motivation, it's silent support. Coast does not mean low effort. Coast means automated execution. The skill is already installed. The athlete is on cruise control. This is when the worst thing a coach can do is interfere. The correct response is minimal structure. One next fact. 3 minutes left. Water is here. Then there's vibe. Vibe isn't just about fun. It's about dopaminergic exploration. When people play, they learn faster. Neuroplasticity increases. Creativity expands. Pattern recognition accelerates. Protecting vibe isn't soft, it's scientifically efficient. Around these signals are regulation tools: pause, reset, move, end, ask, thank you. Each one exists for a biological reason. Pause protects the nervous system. Reset lowers complexity. End releases identity. Ask introduces consent. Thank you closes loops without evaluation. And then there are scenarios, because real life isn't theoretical. Car rides home, before a big game, after a tough loss, when effort is high but results aren't showing. Each scenario answers one question: what kind of support fits this moment? The science behind this system isn't new. Polyvagal theory, cognitive load theory, motor learning research, stress and recovery cycles. What's new is the interface. Instead of asking kids to explain their feelings, we give them symbols. Instead of asking parents and coaches to guess, we give them rules. And one rule matters more than all the others. This system is not a remote control. It is a weather vane. A weather vane doesn't change the wind. It tells you how to respond to it. And when the moment passes, the system doesn't dissect performance. It closes the loop. Not with how did you play, but with did the signal work for you today? That single question shifts development from performance pressure to communication literacy. And communication literacy is the only thing that reliably prevents protective shutdown. Compared to other elite performance programs, the Goods Performance OS does something rare. It protects talent before it has to recover from damage. It works for families, coaches, classrooms, and teams. It doesn't require belief. It doesn't require buy-in. It requires respect. Because when people feel understood, performance doesn't have to be forced. It shows up. I'm Candace Goodman. And this has been the Good News Report.